outside of Chicago Stadium, where the wind chill is below 0, but inside over 17,000 on hand to see the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls. Now let's take a look at the Jeep Eagles starting lineups. The last time the Phoenix Suns were in this building last season, they lost by 29. Tom Chambers will get the starting nod at forward. He is under the weather, a little flu. Rambis, West, Hornacek, and Johnson, one of 7 different starting lineups. Cotton Fitzsimmons, in his 3rd year as head coach of the Suns, has used this year. Now for the Chicago Bulls, the same starting lineup they've gone with in all 16 games this season. How about Michael Jordan starting again for Chicago? He has missed only 1 game in the last 4 years, and he will be at the other guard position, joining Paxson, Cartwright, Pippen, and Grant. And the man heading up Chicago Bulls in his 2nd season is Phil Jackson with a record of 65 and 33. And we are just about set for the tip-off. Tonight's officials, Hugh Hollins, Bernie Fryer, and Pete Quinn will be the men blowing the whistle this evening. You talked about the matchup problems early on. There is the man, Kevin Johnson. We saw him last week in Portland, and some of the coaches were saying the emotional outburst, the break of Kevin Johnson. He wasn't really penetrating as much. Talked to KJ, and he says, you know, he goes, I guess got to be in some type of slump. But he is the big matchup problem.
Well, I asked him, I said, people are questioning that you're not playing with the passion that they're accustomed to seeing. His answer, this is the best November that he has ever had. He's never averaged more than 15. He's getting 21 a game. He just feels that he does not want to rush things. He's only playing 35 minutes, and he's happy with his own play. So, you know, pretty good, pretty sound answer.
Oh, you look down at the stats. He's averaging 21 points, 10 assists a contest. His shooting is down, however, and Tom Chambers and Kevin Johnson both hovering around that 45% range, and that concerns Cotton Fitzsimmons. And Chicago will start it off. They have had 3 very hot first quarters in their last 3 ball games. In fact, they led by 13 over Washington and 17 over Indianapolis and Cleveland the last 3 ball games. So they've jumped out quickly, as they do right now.
Now, whenever you watch Phoenix, they love to bring the ball up quickly on the right side of the floor. Excellent ball movement.
Chambers from the outside, nothing but the bottom. Now it is Pippen quickly down court, tries to go inside to Grant, knocked away by Rambis. Here comes KJ. He'll take it at the end, and he's got it.
Tonight we have 2 excellent defensive basketball teams. They will gamble to try to make the steals. They play the passing game that passes well and also double team quickly.
Pippen from outside.
Scottie Pippen's a guy who's been playing real good basketball these days. Not only is he scoring well, but he's rebounding and giving him a major lift.
Chambers, same spot on Grant. This time he walks with it. The first turnover of the ball game for Phoenix. Tied up at 4, 10:54. Ron Thune along with Hubie Brown from the Chicago Arena. In the first of 2 games here tonight on TNT. Second game, of course, the Lakers and the Pistons from Los Angeles with Bob Neal and Doug Collins. Full night of basketball. Inside to Cartwright over West.
You like to watch the Bulls go into Cartwright, feed off of him early, and then see what the defense brings.
Kevin Johnson answers that from the outside. He has 4.
This is an excellent matchup tonight. Chambers and Pippen. Like we said, Chambers is playing with the flu.
So far, each team 3 of 3, make that 4 of 4 now for Chicago as Pippen gets his 2nd hoop of the night. Paxson gets his body. Very crafty defensive player. Kevin Johnson loses the handle. Pippen almost does. And Cartwright will hand it off. Set things up with 15 on the shot clock for Chicago. Paxson inside to Cartwright. Paxson on West. Baseline.
Billy's off to a nice start this evening. He's very confident that he can shoot up over the top of Mark West, even though Mark West is one of the top 10 shot blockers that we have in the league. You see, Cartwright has many moves. He can go with the right, the fadeaway jump shot. He hooks with either hand, and then he can also use the drop step power move to the basket.
Well, he shot no worse than 53% his first 7 seasons in the league. Last year, or since with the Bulls, he hasn't topped 49% until this season. Paxson gets it back, and he drains it.
Chicago always difficult when Paxson and Pippen are hitting the perimeter game early in that first quarter.
And Cotton Fitzsimmons says he wants a timeout. He will take a 20-second timeout with the Chicago Bulls 6 of 6 from the floor, 12 points, Phoenix has 6.
Well, all he's trying to do is bring out the point of what they're going to do with Cartwright. When the ball goes into the pivot, are you going to continue to play him one-on-one, or are they going to double team him? It'll be interesting to see when he comes out. And also, they are not getting the loose balls, Ron. Chicago is much quicker in the early going.
Cotton Fitzsimmons has to find a way to cool down the hot hands of the Chicago Bulls, but this is a trend that the Bulls have kept up the last 3 games, shooting 61, 57, and 60% in their last 3 wins, and right now they're at 100%. Johnson penetrates with the left hand.
He caught Paxson looking to his left to see if there was a pick.
Grant and a guy named Jordan, the only 2 Bulls yet to find the board. Turnover by Chicago, and Rambis comes up with the loose ball. Hornacek had 24 in the first meeting between these two. Really playing well this year, despite the sore neck he suffered in Tokyo. West with 10 on the shot clock. Now Jordan covered, watching Johnson. Rambis looks for the loose ball. Hugh Holland says stepped out of bounds, and Phoenix will have it.
It'll be interesting to see if Michael Jordan stays with KJ, for the rest of this quarter, to see if they can prevent his penetration to the basket.
With 5 on the shot clock, Chambers went for the shot, but fouled by Grant.
Grant thought that he had a pretty good chance at a block that time, but any time that you gamble on Chambers, he's crafty. He has many moves with the basketball. He's a tough cover in this league because he is so difficult to play off the dribble due to the fact that he goes just as well to his left as he does to his right.
Well, he is struggling from the floor this year, Tom Chambers. Just 45%, but he is hitting 83% of his free throws.
I asked him, do you feel, Tommy, that you're getting the shots that you're accustomed to? And he says, I'm definitely getting the shots. I'm just playing in spurts, but I also think that some of our other key players are also having the same problem.
Well, Chambers has 4. Neither team has really missed a shot from the field so far. Chambers, we saw him light it up for 15 first quarter points last week against Portland. Now it is Jordan looking for his hoop, and he gets one over Hornacek.
See, that's going to be there. There's no way that Jeff Hornacek can play Michael Jordan one-on-one in the low post without help.
Chicago now 7 of 7. Pippen comes over to help with the double team, and Chambers throws it away. 14-10. Bulls lead it by 4. 8:35 remaining in the first quarter. Jordan stops, doesn't get it. West takes it away from Rambis, and the Suns will push it up the court.
Now the Suns love that fast tempo. They'd like to take it up the floor and then kick out for the jump shots.
Rambis falling away gets his first 2. 2-point goal lead. Phoenix now 5 of 5 from the line, from the floor. Jordan spins, the finger roll, doesn't hit anything.
Nice.
Chambers. And he is fouled by Paxson. Kevin Johnson says we get the basket, but no.
No way that was a goaltend. That was hit into the backboard that time. Now you see, this is the quickness that you cannot fall asleep on right here. Here's a mismatch. No way that Paxson can stop Chambers in the open floor. You cannot fall asleep because Phoenix loves a quick 115 to 130 point game. They're pushing the ball, and they have guys who can end the fast break.
Chambers now with 5.
Chambers is an excellent foul shooter, shooting at that 83% mark. And for a guy who penetrates as much, he gets 7 to 8 foul shot attempts per ball game.
And Chambers has them both. We're tied up again at 14 inside of 8 minutes. Now Chicago spreading it out a little bit offensively. On the far side goes Jordan. Grant pushing around Rambis up top. Now it is Jordan with Hornacek on him. Grant knocks Rambis to the floor, and he puts it in.
I like the fact that that was a non-call. No way can you get that. Rambis did a definite flop.
William Johnson off the right side. Pippen snares the rebound. Second in the team in rebounding, Scottie Pippen. Coming off that all-star year. He'll wisely set it up. Shot clock nearing 10.
There was no question. As soon as Michael saw the big man on him, Chambers, you knew he was going off the dribble.
So Chambers throws up the three in retaliation, and he gets it.
Not a bad way to come back.
No.
Come on.
I'll take a 3 for 2. Pippen loses the handle as he goes up for the J. Cartwright way up top inside to Grant, around Ramos, rolls around, doesn't get it. And we've got a foul.
We're really going, Ron. I really love the movement that we're seeing at the offensive end of the floor for Chicago. They're getting everyone within the flow, and they're making the pass when the guy is open.
If it makes you nervous to have someone my size in your face, now you know how your kid feels when you're in his.
A new high-output 4-liter engine, anti-lock brakes, and exclusive shift-on-the-fly, full-time 4-wheel drive. Make Jeep Cherokee the ultimate vehicle for the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
Save $2,500 on 1990 Cherokees, or get up to $700 on 91s.
Sunday night. Majestic, graceful, in danger. Enter the fragile world of the humpback whales on TBS's National Geographic Explorer, 9 Eastern Sunday night. Richard Widmark, a man women love to hate, and men aren't too crazy about him either.
I'm gonna kill you, Slater.
Spend an evening with the most unwanted man in the Old West, Wednesday at 8 Eastern on TNT.
Now appreciate the good defense that we're going to see right here. Chambers versus Pippen. We said this is an ideal matchup. Now watch Jordan size up Chambers, and now the explosion. Dynamite move. You look at the minutes here and you see that Michael's only averaging 36 a game. Everyone is concerned. Naturally the scoring is down because of less minutes. That means foul shot attempts and shot attempts. Here's Michael's response. If it's in the best interest of the team, I'm all for it. Everyone has a say here.
Exactly right. He gets to the line. You're talking about getting the line just over 8 times a contest. Right now the Bulls trail by 1.
Now Michael also made this remark. He said, if I'm going to play less minutes, I am not going to be patient then during the first quarter. I am going to come out and attack and be a very aggressive offensive player.
As Grant misses the first of 2, that foul, by the way, was on Kurt Ramos as we went to break.
Now, how do we like Grant's new glasses? I think they're really neat. Yeah, he said that these do not fog up, and the players, when they hit them, they do not fall down over his nose. And he likes these better than any ones that he's used before.
The trapping defense by Chicago. Hornacek able to kick it out to Johnson. Chambers wanting the ball on the far side. Instead, they go inside to West. Oh!
A whirlwind, come on, over the top of a defensive player.
Our 5th time. That's a high percentage. That's why he leads the league. Pippen now working on West. Throws up the wild right-hander. Cartwright bounces up and down and is able to get it.
Big rebound by Billy that time. Up over the top of Rambis. Rambis did not put his body into Cartwright and block him out.
Johnson tries to get around Paxson. Changes hands, goes to the right, and drops it down.
It's interesting so far, Ron, that they are not double-teaming Kevin Johnson off the dribble, and he can really go wherever he wants.
He is 4 for 5 from the floor. We are tied up at 21. Jordan from way outside over Hornacek. This time Paxson picks him up a little bit early. Johnson goes right around him. Oh, this is the layup. Rambis can't get the tip. 4-on-1. It's showtime, folks.
You love the way Pippen sized up the floor that time. He wanted to check who was in the left lane, who was in the right lane, and I do believe he made the right choice.
That's why I just said showtime. I saw Jordan on that side. Forget, this is over. put it up. Rambis dishes off to West. Tries to use the glass. Takes a piece of paint off, but Chambers gets the rebound in the basket.
See, if you're going to go into a half-court trapping defense and the shot goes up, you're always vulnerable to the offensive rebound because guys are playing areas of the floor.
Paxson left open for the jumper, and he rattles one home. Paxson now with 6. Bulls by 2. 4:49 remaining in the first. Chambers 3 of 3 from the floor, including that three-pointer. Make it 4 of 4.
You know, he's so confident. He's such a cocky offensive player. I mean, the defensive guy hit the ball, he picked it up, sized up the situation, and knocks in a jump shot.
It makes it look easy. This is our 8th tie as Chicago turns it over again. Now it is Hornacek. Jordan comes out to meet him. Everybody on the left side of the court as Horny tries to get it to KJ. And some other scores from around the NBA this evening. John McLeod in his debut leading Orlando by 1. New Jersey by 6 over Seattle. That's in the second. Milwaukee leading Philadelphia by 6. Portland bombering Miami right now. And Denver beating Cleveland without Mark Price. And what a tragedy that is for the Cavs and Mark Price out for the year. B.J. Armstrong is checked into the lineup for Chicago. He will guard Kevin Johnson. Talking about the goggles not coming off. B.J. off the glass.
B.J. Armstrong is averaging 10 points a game coming off the bench. And when you look at the shooting percentages of Armstrong and Paxson, both guys shooting over 50%.
Johnson penetrates, doesn't get the shot to go down, and the Bulls with a 3-on-3. Cross court to Pippen. He gets Chambers up in the air, and he doesn't get the shot to go.
Look out, look out.
Chambers on Jordan. He's got Johnson on the left. Chambers the continuation. Count the basket. Fans don't like it.
Michael Jordan is upset, but that was a great hitting offensive move by Tommy Chambers. As soon as he sees that the smaller man was on him, even though, watch how he dips the shoulder in right there for the contact. Now you're going to say, hey, he pushed him away. Sure he did. But we're talking about a premier offensive player in this league. See, there's the contact. Michael is going to foul him anyway.
Well, Tom Chambers now 5 of 5 from the floor. He is 5 of 5 from the line.
Maybe he should be under the weather every day.
Yeah, for a guy with the flu that wasn't sure how much stamina he had. Grant down low to Jordan, and Jeff Hornacek gets the hand in there.
See, anytime that Michael Jordan has been either embarrassed or involved in a controversial play, which we just had at the other end, you know he wants the basketball immediately at his first offensive opportunity.
Waiting to see Dan Marley check in for Phoenix pretty soon. He did a pretty good job on Michael Jordan when these two teams met in Phoenix a while back. Now Jordan has to dish off. Pippen left open. And we've got a foul. Could be on Grant. Is it a loose ball foul? No, it is foul on Kurt Rambis. Well, Mark West, check that. And it's his second personal foul.
When this quarter started, Scottie Pippen was shooting the basketball with a beautiful stroke. His last 3 shots, he has pulled the trigger and he's come up short on all 3.
We have another foul.
Well, on that ball rotation, Grant, no one was playing Grant. For some reason, Phoenix was messed up on their matchups. Rambis is talking to West before he is on his way to the bench.
Although loud round of applause you hear is for Ed Neely, who played here last year and became such a crowd favorite during the playoffs. He replaces Kurt Rambis, who'll have to sit down with a couple of personal fouls. Ed Neely, his baby watch continues. We told you last week in Portland his wife Deanne was a week late. Now she's 2 weeks late with their first son. And Ed says it's tough to concentrate on basketball, but he goes, I just figure it's tougher on my wife.
So getting back to Grant and these new goggles, pretty good statement. He said these goggles are outstanding because the defenders, the guys who are playing here, constantly knocking the glasses down, and these will hold the area better than anything that I've used to date.
And Dan Marley is checked also in the line. 4 seconds out. Chambers left open 5 of 5. Make it 6 of 6 for Tom Chambers.
Did Cotton say that Chambers was struggling?
You heard the same thing I did before the game. He said he was concerned that he's got to get KJ and Chambers back in shape. Oh, what an alley-oop from Pippen to Michael Jordan.
catch and a slam dunk.
The defense wasn't all that bad. Chambers forces up his first miss. West has it knocked away by Jordan. 3-on-1. Here it comes again, folks.
You have to love the fast break. The 3-on-1s. That's the 4th one so far this quarter.
Johnson over Armstrong. Phoenix quickly back on the offensive again. We are tied at 32, our 11th tie of the ball game. Cartwright with his unorthodox shot bangs off the back of the iron. Chambers limping on his left ankle. Appears to be okay. Tipping the big high dribble, goes up with the left hand, won't go down. Marlin, Suggs, to Chambers, throws it up, doesn't get it. His own rebound, will try it again. He walked with it.
See, Chambers wants, he's saying that the ball possibly hit the net with the rim. He did not want to travel. The referee is calling that he shot and caught his own shot because the ball was short.
As we go to break, here is Michael Jordan.
Appreciate it. There it is.
Recently, Four Wheel and Off-Road magazine took this year's 4x4 of the Year winner and all the past winners and conducted a head-to-head showdown to determine the best of the best. So who won? Who do you think? There are a lot of 4x4s out there, but there's only one Jeep.
Save up to $2,500 on 1990 Cherokees or get 50th anniversary discounts on select 91.
The Super Bowl. 25 years of the greatest moments in sports. And to celebrate, get a load of this. The official NFL Super Tickets poster. This 24 by 36 inch 5-color poster has every Super Bowl ticket back to 1967. And all for just $9.95 plus $2.50 shipping and handling. So call now. This is the collector's item of the 90s.
To order your official Super Tickets poster, call 1-800-421-2000 now. Check, money order, Visa, or MasterCard accepted. Available only through this offer.
Tied at 32 with Tom Chambers and Kevin Johnson accounting for 28 of Phoenix's 32 points. We talked about the slow start, Hubie.
Well, you know, talking to Cotton, he said, listen, yeah, sure, we're only 8-5, but we have played 8 games against teams who have won over 55 wins last year. So it's the old story early in the season. Who have you played and where have you played the games?
And player slow starts.
And then the second part of it all is Cotton says, if I have any problem at all with this ball club, we have great talent, but here it is right here. These are my 3 main shooters in regards to shot opportunities, and no one over 44%. He said, once we get that in sync, everything will take care of itself.
He has the big picture in mind. He says he likes to have his teams. He doesn't mind the slow start. Wait till January, February, kick it in.
Well, they've been in the Western Conference Finals now 2 years in a row, and they're looking to make that next major step.
They proved they belong. Jordan now with Marley on him, has to work off the screen. Back to Jordan, he's left alone. Grant. How about a third try for Chicago, a fresh 24. Grant just turns around and pulls the trigger.
Well, if anyone's going to hurt you on the offensive force for Chicago, it is Grant. He works hard.
Shooting 52% the last 5 games. And Neely sneaks in underneath.
That was a spectacular pass by KJ.
Armstrong working on Johnson. The rainbow won't go down. Neely with the rebound, outlet to KJ. 3 on 4. Oh, he tries to thread the needle with Pippen. Second in the team to Michael Jordan, and Steals comes up with it. Armstrong.
It's interesting how many guys are rolling and pulling back on their open jump shots for Chicago. Now they cannot be open more than what they have been. The players are making the extra pass, getting it to them, but no one is knocking down the open jump shot. But when you're a coach, you're telling your guys, keep forcing the action. The shots are there.
If you look at Horace Grant, comes to the line so far this evening. He has 6 points, averaging just over 11 a contest, dribble 7. And Andrew Lang will check into the lineup as we look at stats on Horace Grant. Andrew Lang checks in for Phoenix. West sits down with 2 personal fouls. Also coming in for Chicago, number 2, Dennis Hobson, formerly of New Jersey, now playing Michael Jordan takes a seat, and we talked about his 36.2 minutes a game. And Hobson, his role is to give Michael Jordan some time on the bench. Now it is Johnson with Armstrong on him. Marley will take it, and he does, and he's got it.
Marley. Now, when Marley and Eddie Johnson come into the lineup, you know they're coming in shooting.
Hobson with Marley on him. A lot of strategy there, letting Jordan take a break. Now with Marley in the lineup, Pippen forces it up, and he's got it.
Scottie Pippen was dynamite tonight off the dribble. He was blowing by Chambers, creating a lot of things. Just take his time on his jump shot. He's going to have a terrific night.
Chambers over Pippen, and Pippen says, nice shot. Chambers 7 of 8. Talk about Scottie Pippen. The first 10 games of the year, he shot only 40%. The last 6, 59%. He's been in double figures every game during that stretch. That is the time remaining in the first quarter. Out of the 38. Hobson over Chambers for a 2. He's got it. Long pass down to Marley, and that is a big mistake for Phoenix.
Big mistake because you still have close to 4 seconds on the clock. You can always inbound the ball in the backboard, advance it over half court in close to 2 to 3 seconds to get a decent shot.
Phoenix with 6 turnovers now as Pippen takes his time over Chambers at the buzzer, just a little bit short. We have played our first quarter in Chicago, and it is the Bulls 40, the Suns 38. We'll return to Chicago Stadium in a moment.
Hi, John.
Hi. You know, Ace is a place for all kinds of holiday stuff. From the tree and all the trimmings
Well, we
to
have
the right
lots of-
stuff to put under it.
Oh, you mean
Hey,
gifts?
let me tell you. When it's time for ho, 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 Ace is the place for me.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, ho, ho, ho. You know.
Eagle Talon TSI and Toyota Celica All-Track both have all-wheel drive, but the Celica costs about $4,000 more.
What are those guys at Toyota take us for?
About $4,000.
So my brother Les called and said now is the time to get an Eagle Talon because of the great incentive.
So you got it for less?
No, this baby's mine.
MC Hammer, rap star and Pepsi drinker. Well, today, we secretly replaced his Pepsi with Coke. Let's see what happens.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
Hammer!
Problem.
Soldier Field, Chicago. Over 300 dead batteries and 1 die-hard battery. Our most powerful ever jump-starts every one. Die-hard. More power when you need it most.
It is one of the most spectacular films ever made. It combines epic adventure with human drama. Winner of 11 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Actor.
Oh, you can break a man's skull, you can arrest him, you can throw him into a dungeon. But how do you control what's up here? How do you fight an idea?
Charlton Heston in Ben-Hur. Sunday on TNT.
In the first game of our doubleheader tonight on TNT, the Bulls leading the Suns 40-38. And just a reminder, coming up immediately following our contest is the Pistons and the Lakers from L.A. Join Bob Neal and Doug Collins for all the action right after this one. But the story here in Chicago right now is the hot hand of the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls.
Now, 2 weeks ago in Phoenix pulls out a 2-point win. And the difference was the contributions by the second units.
Marley from outside as Stacey King has checked into the lineup for Chicago. And they're still not sure that their second unit of Chicago is measured, correct?
That was an excellent defensive play that time. See, Scottie left his feet. If you're going to leave your feet, make sure that you're looking to shoot the basketball first. Then, if they take away the shot, you can still make the pass.
Well, 15 ties, 4 lead changes in that first quarter. Miguel Knight, the rookie out of Dayton, also in the lineup for Phoenix.
It's the first time we've seen pick and roll, and Phoenix is a big pick and roll team.
Right on Armstrong, looking down for Marley. He works on Hobson. The turnaround off the glass, and that bank is open.
Yeah, I like Marley taking Hobson right down inside that time. He's a rough, tough type of a player.
Very physical ball player. And a whistle, and we have a foul.
Offensive foul that time on Scottie Pippen. He was moving on a double screen.
Tied up at 40, just inside of 11 minutes. Right on Armstrong, all the way to the hole, a la KJ, but he can't get it to go down. Cartwright clears the board.
That's at least the third driving layup that Phoenix has missed.
Thompson having trouble getting his hands on it. Now Armstrong takes it inside, and he goes down hard to the floor. Everybody went hard to the floor, and now Joe Prosky will have to come out, the trainer for the Phoenix Suns. And Andrew Lang does have a cut on his left forehead, and he is out. Joe Prosky quickly comes out, as does Cotton Fitzsimmons. Let's see how it happened again.
Well, you'll see that as he goes through here now, watch the swipe Chambers makes at him, and then here comes Lang for the shot block, and as he falls, he takes it, boom, flush over the eye.
Well, Joe Prosky working on Andrew Lang. We'll take a break with 10:41 showing on the clock, and we are tied up at 40. We'll be back.
Okay, people, get set. You grab it. Hit the music. Cue Larry.
I'm Larry King, and tonight we're interviewing President Ronald Reagan. New York, Frank Sinatra.
And where are you calling from?
You ready to roll?
Okay,
This is a
next.
puzzle.
Larry, I love your show.
Kathleen Turner. If you're
Larry King,
willing
what's
to
your
talk
question?
about it on this show,
No, sorry,
you
I
have to
skipped
be
that
ready
last
for this kind of reaction. I
Line
grew up
2
with
is
a
next.
lot of guys. Not one of them wanted to be a bounty
Real
hunter.
hot, Larry.
Back to the calls.
Richard, how you doing tonight? Hey, I'm with the king. How bad can it be?
It's a place you've never been. They are people you've never met. It's an America you could only imagine. Meet the lost souls of the Hotel Madison. Share their hopes, despair, love, and love lost in the best hotel on Skid Row. Room for a night or a lifetime. America Undercover.
Well, I'm Joe McConnell for the...
Now you'll see the trap right here on Hobson, forcing to give him. Now as B.J. Armstrong wants to split, all right, he gets by. Now watch Lang, and he cannot get his hands underneath him, and he hits flush right over that right eye. Now they've taken him off into the locker room, and you really have to feel badly for this young man because he was on the injured list at the early part of the season with a stress fracture in his leg. So he has had nothing but bad luck this year.
And they were expecting big things, especially the way he was starting out in the summer league. And that brings Mark West with 2 personal fouls back in as Cartwright misses the shot, tipped right into the hands of Marley. So Mark West comes in, and as does Eddie Johnson, number 8 for Phoenix. We saw him light it up last week against Portland. Instant offense when he is on. He's very difficult to cover.
Now, this is a very, very good second unit for Phoenix. They have some excellent scores out there.
There is one of them as West gets tied up. 2 on a shot clock. Johnson launches the bomb right to Marley, but we'll have a loose ball foul on Dan Marley over the back. That's his first personal.
See the pressure on the Chicago unit that's out on the floor. Now I know they have Pippen and Cartwright out there. Their best 2 rebounders is to keep this unit of Phoenix off the offensive board. It's a slashing group of guys who all play physical basketball.
Well, Michael Jordan still on the bench for Chicago. Inside the Cartwright.
See, I don't like that matchup tonight if I'm pulling for Chicago. I mean, if I'm pulling for Phoenix, because Cartwright can take West down inside. They're going to have to help out.
Also, West already has 2. He goes inside tough, and we have a whistle, and that foul will be on Cartwright.
Chicago personal foul.
That is his first. Stan, we'd like to remind you at the conclusion of tonight's game, Hubie Brown and I will be selecting our Budweiser player of the game.
Now you look at the career of Mark West. Came out of college, shot blocker. Guy's been cut from a number of teams. All right, he now has found the home. He's one of the top field goal percentage shooters that we have in the league. He's second. He's 10th in the league in shot blocking. And you say, How did a guy like this ever get cut from anybody? Because everyone's looking for guys who can rebound and block shots.
He was a throw-in on the Cleveland trade with the Kevin Johnson.
Found a home here in Phoenix.
So has Tom Chambers, that comfort zone they found. Right now, the Suns trail by 1. Bulls with the ball with 9:25 remaining in the first half. Armstrong has to give it up. Hobson takes a step up, and he drills it.
I liked his game when he's from the foul line down to the corner, Hobson. I think he takes good shots, and he usually shoots a high percentage.
He's really yet to establish himself as a good shooter. 43% is his best in the NBA.
But see, I think that's because he gets outside his range, way out, and faces up. He doesn't hit him. Oh, boy. Nice move by Marley.
And Hobson mad at himself as he picks up his first personal foul.
Now you'll see as the ball comes back out here, see, nice move by Marley. Marley showed him, hey, I'm going left. He didn't go for it, and then took him on a head fake, possible long jump shot. And you must play Marley for the long three-point attempt.
Well, Tom Chambers has checked in for Phoenix. Bill Cartwright will sit down now for the Bulls, and we'll get our first look at former Atlanta Hawk Cliff Levingston. As Atlanta decided not to re-sign Cliff, who was a free agent at the end of last season, did not have one of his better seasons. As Phoenix turns the ball over right in front of us, and Ed Neely doesn't like the call. Chicago's got it.
Now, Neely's a little miffed. He's looking, you know, at Hugh Hollins, who didn't make the call his way.
That's right. Not Miguel Knight, on Armstrong. Simmons likes Miguel Knight. Shown a great deal of poise. He started the year on the injured list, and will go the other way with an offensive foul. That'll be on Pippen. That is his second personal.
The refereeing is very consistent tonight in any type of movement on picks. They're calling them quick. You better set a good solid pick and keep your ground.
Marley working on Hobson. Goes up strong with that right hand.
See, Hobson doesn't even challenge him, and Marley knows it. That's why he wants the ball down and low.
Marley moves out on Hobson. Pippen trying to get away from Eddie Johnson. And Miguel Knight, pretty good defensive play. Phoenix has it as we look at other scores from around the NBA this evening. Our score is the Bulls by 1 with 8:15 remaining in the first half. Setting a play for Johnson. He has to give it up to Marley. Marley again sizes him up. This time Hobson gets a hand on it with 7 seconds on the shot clock. A couple of more scores from around the league tonight. And we're all over the Cavs. And here comes Michael Jordan back into the lineup. And Scottie Pippen will take a break.
See, in the early going tonight, first half, we're seeing no 5 guys as a unit for Chicago.
How about Dan Marley for 3? He is 1 of 5 on the year. Make that 2 of 6.
Yeah, but we know he'll take them. That's what we said. You can't let him just stand there. You've got to get up and play him.
9 for Marley. Livingston to Hobson to the basket. Hobson with 6. We are tied up again at 46. Our 17th tie of this ball game. Johnson leans into Michael Jordan. Marley on Jordan. Hobson being guarded by Johnson. Inside, B.J. Armstrong tries to flip up the right-hander. Cliff Livingston, good job on the offensive glass.
Cliff Livingston, ever since he's been in the league, is a dangerous offensive rebounding, more so than even at the defensive end of the floor.
He is on tape. Chambers. Oh, what a pass to Ed Neely underneath.
See, the Suns are very, very good exploiting you. When you leave a guy in double team, a post guy, that man goes right to the front of the rim. Or the pass.
The Suns lead it by 2. Jordan gets that one step around Marley. Doesn't get the shooter's roll. Neely gets the rebound. Dangerous pass. Knight back to Marley on Stacey King, and Stacey will be whistled for the foul. That is his first.
Personal foul, 34. Phoenix offense, 118 a game. They've done it now consistently during Cotton's 3 years since he came back to coach the Phoenix Suns. Their ball movement is excellent. He's constantly on them to pass and cut pass and screen away, and most important, the quickness. Then they have that great perimeter game. If you mess up, it's uncanny how many guys they have who can shoot and make the three-point shots.
Well, that gives Phoenix their biggest lead of the game as Marley hits them both. And it is at 4. Nearing the 6.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Hobson looking down low for King. Neely putting that right elbow up against him. King wheels, tries to go up with the left hand, and he does.
Pretty move, pretty move. We call that an up and under. You fake up one way, step back and under the man, and go strong to the basket.
What he did so effectively at the University of Oklahoma is Chambers launches another one, doesn't get it. Jordan with the rebound. That's his first. He's averaging just about 6 a game. Oh, hello, Dan Marley. I'm going this way with it, and I'll get the basket.
Now, that was a true shake and bake. Watch him shake. There he goes. He shoots right up over the top as he gets hit. Watch this beautiful move right there.
It's amazing that Michael Jordan takes it inside, gets knocked around so much, and he's only missed 1 game in his last 4 years. Now Eddie Johnson forces it up way short. Jordan with the rebound. He has B.J. Armstrong and Cliff Livingston to go with him. He says, I'm going to do it myself. Well, that 4-point Phoenix lead is quickly by the wayside. Chambers, that prayer is not going to be answered. Oh, let's go billfold hunt with Ed Neely. Bulls by 1. Well, playground basketball here. Now Miguel Knight, nice move. And Cliff Livingston from behind on Dan Marley.
What a beautiful penetration and pass by Miguel Knight. I love Paul Westfall's description of Knight as a player, and that is that he's so mature and he makes the right decisions and he has no weaknesses. Now, from Paul Westfall, who's been around this league a long time and an all-star player, that is really a lofty compliment. Just terrific.
And we speak of Paul Westfall. There he is, the heir apparent to the head coaching position at the Phoenix Suns. Cotton says, I'm going to stay here a while. Paul's not exactly running me out of town yet. Bright future for that young man in the NBA, as Marley very stiff-legged when he shoots his free throws. Gets up on his tiptoes, and this time he makes it. 3 of 4 from the line for Dan Marley, and this is our 20th tie of the ball game. We're knotted up at 55. Ron Thulin with Hubie Brown from a sold-out Chicago stadium. Jordan again around Marley. This time he doesn't get it, but he says, we'll add to the percentage. 15 for Jordan. He's 7 of 13 now from the floor. Paxson slaps it away from Kevin Johnson, who's checked into the lineup.
That was a good call. So you slash them right across the hand, and you'll see that he's shaking it off. Now watch as Paxson reaches in, how he catches them. So he caught him right there. Now, in high school and college, I think if you have a home game, you might get that call. Yeah. With the interpretation that the hand is on the ball, and it's it's a part of one. Consequently, it's not a foul. But in this league, you know that a player of this guy's reputation who gets to the foul line at least 9 to 10 times a night is getting that call.
We've got 4:52 remaining in the first half. We'll come back with Kevin Johnson on the line, trailing by 1.
Wild thing. It is a wild thing. Come shout and sing, join in the ring. It could be queen or it could be king. You go your way and I'll go mine. As long as you just make it fine.
The good times roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never let you down.
Wild thing. Wild thing.
Tonight's leaders brought to you by Nissan, built for the human race.
If I could afford a sports sedan, the road would belong to me. Bob, I'd have one of those multi-valve engines, independent suspension, and of course, a spoiler on the back. Yeah, if I could afford a sports sedan, life would be a cruise.
Oh, it's you, Bob.
Introducing the new Nissan Sentra SER, because rich guys shouldn't have all the fun.
And it's time for tonight's Nissan leaders. Our category is field goal percentage. And number 2 is Hubie mentioned, Mark West, 67%. Buck Williams of the Blazers on top. And there's Michael Jordan's name at 56%. And those are our Nissan leaders.
Well, when you look at the guards for Chicago, it's so important that the people who play off of Michael Jordan can hit the spot-up shots. Now, B.J. Armstrong is shooting 50%, and Paxson is shooting 53%. So it's the first time that they've had 2 guys who are spotting up on opposite him that are shooting up over 50.
Well, the report on Andrew Lang is Kevin Johnson hits it. Andrew took 4 stitches to the head. He was a tough one. He's a Nolan Richardson player out of Arkansas. Joe Prosky looking at him again on the far bench. Now Paxson tries to line it up, and he does. Paxson 4 of 4 from the floor. That accounts for his 8 points, and the Bulls back up by 2 as we're nearing the 4.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Eddie Johnson gets Hobson up in the air, leans in, and he's pitched the roll.
Cotton said Eddie Johnson is home. He grew up right here in the inner city, and he usually plays big.
Michael Jordan taking Dan Marley to task right now. Marley held Michael Jordan to just 2 points in the final quarter in the first meeting between these 2 teams. But now Michael Jordan putting on a clinic. Marley beats Michael to the ball. He goes up. He's got it, but an offensive foul.
Excellent. Marley had absolutely no place to go. Cliff Livingston took the charge head on. Now you'll see this. Now just watch as Livingston gets right in front of him, takes it, holds him up so that that he doesn't hit the floor and get injured. But by the way, I think Michael Jordan has taken this thing about being aggressive very seriously.
Well, he talked about being aggressive. He went and got weight machines for his house. As Grant bottoms it out. He said he wanted to build up his bulk. His body fat is only somewhere around the 3 to 4% range. That's probably my muscle tone. Chambers from outside doesn't get it. Pippen battling Johnson for the rebound. Outlet to Paxson. 6 rebounds now for Scottie Pippen. So Michael tried to bulk up. Each year he tries to work on something in his game. Just from inside of 3, and this time Hornacek is the victim.
Now Phoenix better watch out right now. They're starting to get away from him. I know it's only 6, but you must come down now and take good percentage shots.
That was not one of them.
That was great defense by Michael Jordan getting a piece.
Hello, he misses the layup. Kevin Johnson to Chambers. He's got Eddie Johnson.
I think Michael thought he was going to get hit.
And he walked with it. Paxson thought he was going to be whistled for the foul, but we've got a traveling call. Now we've got 2 officials. Hugh Hollins looks over and says, nope, traveling is the call. Both officials working together. Cotton doesn't like it.
Well, Cotton doesn't like it. His guy got fouled. The side referee made the call. Hugh Hollins, the lead referee, was right in front of the call. See, that's what Cotton's all excited about. And plus, the Phoenix team. Now, you'll see here. Now, watch as he comes down in it. There it is right there. He's definitely fouled, and there could be no travel on that call.
But they're going to stick with it. And Tom Chambers steals it away from Stacey King. He has Hornacek down underneath the basket.
See, in this game, you've got to go meet the ball. Oh,
if he starts heating up as Eddie Johnson gets his 7th point, that'll quickly close this gap as we have 2.5 remaining in the first half. Pippen with the loose ball. Hornacek working on Jordan. Jordan switches hands in mid-flight. Grant with the follow.
And once again, Horace is in there, helping out, keeping the ball alive.
12.6 rebounds now for Grant as Tom Chambers throws up a wild left-hander, and Grant is whistled for the foul.
See, you're
Chicago and you're at home, you've got to continue to get back defensively because Phoenix never stops. This is their pace. They play like this 82 games, 48 minutes.
Right.
Now, you might be able to do this in spurts, but you better understand that the leads will disappear on you. No lead is safe.
Tom Chambers, 5 of 5 from the line so far, had 20 first quarter points. Doesn't get it. And Cartwright will check back into the lineup. Stacey King sits down. Chambers, all of his points, in fact, were in that first quarter. Now Cotton Fitzsimmons being warned on the far side by Hugh Hollins. As Hugh is explaining the call.
Well, you see, Cotton is, you know, he's hot about the call. When you're a referee, you do not want to be lectured by a coach. But then when you're a coach, you don't want to be lectured by the referee either, especially when you know that your guy definitely got hit.
Exactly right. 5-point Chicago lead. They have the ball with 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
2 minutes to play in the first half.
Cartwright on Chambers. Right-handed hook. Gordon tries to tip it. Goes into the hands of Kevin Johnson. Good looking pass to Hornacek. Takes it in. Hornacek's first 2 points of the ball game.
Great steal by Kevin Johnson.
Johnson with his 30th steal.
You know, we're seeing some terrific penetration off the dribble tonight. Outstanding passing on the fast break at both ends of the floor.
Cartwright to Paxson from on top of the key. In and out, no good. Ball tipped right back. Fresh 24 for Chicago. Gordon wide open underneath. Finally gets him the ball.
Plenty of time, 10 seconds.
And he loses the handle, and Chicago still has it. We'd like to remind you, coming up at halftime is the Prudential Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson in our studios in Atlanta. We'll have scores and highlights from around the league. Craig Sager is in New York, and he'll have a live report from Madison Square Garden, where Knicks coach John McLeod is making his debut against the Magic. We'll have highlights of Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Portland, Miami, and Orlando, New York. All coming up. And Harvey Grant can't find the handle.
Now that was a beautiful cut by Grant and an excellent pass.
And a pretty good-looking move by Tommy Chambers.
Tommy Chambers is one of the very few guys in this league who is right-handed, but he wants to shoot the basketball with his left hand. Now watch this. When he is dribbling to the basket, he's a slashing guy off the dribble and changes hands beautifully.
And Horace Grant takes a seat on the bench for Chicago. And he picks up his 3rd personal foul.
Talking to Tommy before the game, we talked about shot selection, but then we also, I said to him, you know, well, how bad is the flu? He said, I'm in my 3rd day of it. It's draining. He said, my eyes are bothering me. And I'm looking at his outside shooting. You know, it's
not bothering him now.
Yeah, and see, Cotton's worried because this is the first game of this long road trip. We have 4 games in 5 nights. So he has to be careful with Chambers with the stamina problem.
Scott Williams, the rookie free agent out of North Carolina, who checked into the lineup with a shot off the back of the iron. Chambers tips it to himself. Williams has played in 12 of the 16 games for Chicago so far this year. Eddie Johnson for 3 doesn't get it. Cartwright, who leads the team in rebounds, just over 7, pulls down another, and the Bulls lead it, or tied up at 67 with under 30 left. 5-second difference between the shot and the game. Jordan stops, pops.
When he has it, you always know from out there that you're going to get an uncontested or a clean shot because he elevates over the trap.
There's the time remaining. Let's see what Johnson does. Looks inside for Neely, and Michael Jordan can't get the handle with 1.6 remaining.
One thing you do not want now is for your man to catch a lob in front of the rim.
Chambers fall away. What a rainbow. It draws a little rain, but nothing else. The Bulls are 9-2, and they lead at intermission, and they do just that. 69-67 is our score. Stay with us. Ernie Johnson in our studios in Atlanta with the Prudential Halftime Report. Thank you very much, Ernie Johnson. Tom Chambers and Kevin Johnson in that first quarter combined for 30 points. Now, in the second quarter, the two combined for only 5 points. First of all, let's talk about the pace of the game and then Tom Chambers.
Well, I think that we knew this would be a good game. They match up well. We expected a high-scoring game. We're seeing that. If I'm Cotton Fitzsimmons, I must take care of my defensive rebounding because Horace Grant is killing me. He has 4 putback baskets. If I'm Chicago, I must get back defensively because I'm giving Phoenix too many easy baskets after I score at my offensive end of the floor.
There's an old saying that goes, you don't beat Michael Jordan, you survive Michael Jordan. He had 8 in the first quarter, 13 in the second, and at times he really took over.
Well, let's face it, Michael's Michael. We love how he's being aggressive. As you look at the field goal percentage, we said that's high. The bench scoring 25-12. Give that because of Marley coming off and getting a big 12 points. Now, the rebounding we see, there's a difference, but it's all at the offensive end of the floor, sparked by the fact that Grant has 4 offensive boards and put-back field goals.
And speaking of Michael Jordan.
Now, see, he sizes up. 2 guards are back defensively. I think I'm going up, up, and away. Boom.
Phoenix was able to fast break a couple of times.
Well, you can't fall asleep with them because after you score, see, KJ's pushing that ball, and they run the lane so well that they're getting easy baskets at the one end of the floor. Now, this guy, we say, he's murder off the dribble. Big guys all have trouble guarding him.
23 points for Tom Chambers in that first half. 20 coming the first quarter.
Now, the big question, can Chambers, under, the flu, can he keep up the stamina?
And that will remain to be seen. 21 points for Michael Jordan, Grant with 12, and there we see Tom Chambers, and he will be starting the second half, and it is the same starting 5 for the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan, as I mentioned, 21 points, 13 coming in that second quarter. 69-67 is our score. We still have a whole half left for you as Kevin Johnson quickly comes out, and he adds to his total.
Talking to Kevin before the game, KJ, I said, how's it going? He says, well, my outside shot has not been going down, and it's messing up my game.
Jordan from the outside over Hornacek. Chambers times the rebound effectively. KJ with Hornacek on the right. He pulls it up. West, a big pick in front of Kevin Johnson, allows him to get the 4th point in the second half.
But he's starting this quarter exactly like he started the first, making the outside J.
Which opens up the penetration.
Like Chambers said, we feed off of KJ off the dribble. He sets the tempo.
Now Michael Jordan, who sets the tempo for Chicago, has 23 for the ball game. 25th time. This one is set for 3. Now they're going to say 2. They wave it off.
This is what we mean when we say off the dribble sets up the outside perimeter game. Hornacek was the leading field goal percentage shooter last year as a guard in the NBA at 54%. They all stand around and knock in those long jump shots.
He's shooting 53% this year. A traveling call says Hugh Hollins, and we'll go the other way with it, with Phoenix leading by 2.
I have an interesting stat on the guy right there in the picture, Pippen. He's playing a very good game tonight, but that was his 6th turnover.
That is a big stat. Chambers left open from about 18. It goes about 18 and a half, but Hornacek pulls the trigger over Jordan. Outlet to Paxson. Pulls up over KJ, and he buries it.
I'm telling you, Paxson really has a stroke tonight. And what I like about it is he's really looking for the shot.
5 of 6 from the floor. Good pass from KJ to West. He can't get the little bunny shot to go down, but he gets his own rebound. Battles his way in, using the belly effectively.
He works so hard down inside. He wants the body contact. That's why you love Mark West. He's a battler.
Our 7th lead change is Stacey King set to come into the lineup for Chicago as Phil Jackson will go to his bench early on here in the 3rd quarter. Pippen from outside over the outstretched hands of Tom Chambers.
See, they're really laying off for Rambis, Ron, and they're not guarding him. And his man has been the person, the double team.
Well, Kevin Johnson dishes off to Hornacek for a 2. Pippen with the rebound.
Nice.
To Grant. That's the way it is drawn up.
Now that was a tough pass because the ball bounced high on Pippen. Beautiful, and way to look down the floor.
Chambers tries to answer. Here comes Pippen again, already with 8 assists tonight. He has 1 triple-double already this year against the Clippers. Now Hornacek tries to come over to help. That allows Pippen to get open. He buries it.
Pippen became open because Hornacek left Pippen to double-team Michael Jordan. Once again, Michael finding the free guy for the open shot.
Jordan with 5 assists as the 22nd timeout is taken. 8:40 remaining in the third quarter, and Chicago has opened up a 4-point lead.
See, I really like Cotton's move here. He did the same thing in the first quarter. Now watch that nice pass. You see, that ball bounced high on him, and he even had to get it past the defender, and then lay it on the line. A perfect bounce right there to Grant, filling the lane.
Well, Scottie Pippen has had double-figure assists in 3 of the last 5 games, and he had 28 assists during that period, so he's able to dish it off. This program is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. Chicago on a 6-0 run and opened up that 4-point lead. 7 on the shot clock. Hornacek waits for the pick by West. Now he's double teamed with 3 on the shot clock. Phoenix will not get a shot off. Ball goes to Chicago.
We have not seen the shot clock even get close to going off tonight.
Well, that got Lowell Cotton Fitzsimmons up off the bench, who picked up his 700th win earlier this year. 4th among active coaches in victories. Now Paxson. Cartwright spins on West. Pretty good offensive move, and West will have to pick up the foul. That is his 3rd of the ball game.
See, Billy Cartwright's having a good game tonight. He only averages 8 shot attempts per game. He had 8 in the first half. He realizes he can shoot over the top of West, and they're not double teaming him. There's no way that you're going to stop him because he has 5 good, solid moves.
He has 8.7 rebounds and a very unorthodox shot.
You know, Billy Cartwright is a 78% foul shooter throughout his entire career. And for some reason, this year he's struggling. He's only at 61%.
Well, Chicago only 5 of 9 from the line. Make that 6 of 10 as Cartwright gets his first point of the second half. And the press now by Chicago. And they'll back off.
Well, they give you like a token. If they get a chance to trap, they will. If not, they just step back and match up with their man.
Well, that took about 5 seconds off the shot clock to get it over the top. Johnson has to get it to Paxson.
Nice.
Good ball movement. Rambis can't get the J to go down. Cartwright with the loose ball to Jordan. Bulls lead it by 5. 7:35 remaining to be played in the third. All the way to the hole with the right hand, and he does draw the foul.
Michael Jordan just did something cute. Now, on this replay, watch Michael's right arm, what he does. You see how he just, the left arm, he just pushed his way out again. 2 defenders. First, he took Hornacek out of there, and then he moved West out of there so he couldn't get the shot block.
And Michael coaches the ball in as Andrew Lang, who got 4 stitches earlier, has to come in for Mark West, who picked up his 4th personal foul. Jordan now with 24 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Just a typical day at the office.
I'm happy that Lang is back in this game. I know Cotton is. He wants it for the rebounding and shot blocking and the size of his body. But I'm just happy for the young man. And look how he has his left wrist also taped up in his finger.
He got a double on that one. Chicago on a 9-0 run. Hornacek tries to stop the bleeding, and he does. Hornacek, who's averaging 15 with only 6 in the ballgame so far. Jordan. Oh, boy.
Yay, little Connie Hawkins, a little globetrotter time.
His hands are enormous, Michael Jordan's, and that's why he's able to do that. And we have a whistle and a foul. I used to hate when guys did that. I'm sure Jeff Hornacek feels the same way.
Phoenix Suns.
Here it is again.
Just watch this now. There's the ball fake. Brings it back. Makes his move.
That foul was on Kurt Rambis, by the way.
Well, Rambis stepped right into Grant that time, but he knows his job is to keep Grant off the offensive boards.
Michael Jordan yelling out instructions as Pippen has to walk with it because he can't get the shot to go. Second time he got caught up in the air.
Now, see, I can't emphasize this enough. That's his 7th turnover. He's trying to be too cute once he elevates. He's not looking for the shot. He's looking to pass first. No good.
NBA Tuesday on TNT. Tonight's game, the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls. Brought to you by Chevrolet, who invite you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America.
Winning. It's more than a word. It's a spirit that's driving everything we do. And it's why more people depend on Chevrolet than any other car. From the people who push them to their limit, to the men and women who drive them home, more people are winning with the heartbeat of America.
Why do women always know when you're not telling them the whole story? And why do they always change plans at the last minute? And why do we keep putting up with them?
Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. It's cold filtered for smooth draft taste and dry brewed for no aftertaste. So while women may remain a mystery, refreshment won't.
At a sold-out Chicago Stadium, the Bulls lead at 82-77 with just under 6:50 remaining in the third quarter. But stay with us. A lot of basketball tonight on TNT. Immediately following our game, Isaiah and Magic, as the Pistons take on the Lakers with Bob Neal and Doug Collins calling the action. Then on Friday night on TNT at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, it'll be the Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks from Reunion Arena in Dallas with Pete Van Wieren and Hubie Brown as the NBA on TNT continues this year. Interesting view from one of the dancers here for the Chicago Bulls. How about Tom Chambers, 7 of 8 from the field to start the game, and now he has missed 7 of his last 8 shots. Sort of deja vu we saw last week in Portland as Hornacek baseline has to give it off to Chambers. He can't buy it. Rambis has it swatted away by Bill Cartwright. His 6th block of the year. Pretty good looking pass.
See, I like the pace. I like the tempo that we're getting from Chicago here. They're taking advantage of the quickness of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
From the outside, it's KJ. 18 for Johnson. He has the last 4 Phoenix points. 6 minutes even remaining in the third. Cartwright battling Lang underneath. Big 7-footer sizing him up. They'll try it again. Spins. The left hand goes down. And Chambers took one upside of the nose.
There, Lang played Cartwright as tough as you could. And he came in with that left hook. I mean, it's just, he's got a nice total game. He's feeling good tonight, you can see it.
Rambis, great pass to the young Andrew Lang, who jams it home. And that is the majority of his points. He's not exactly an offensive threat, but when he does score, that's where it comes from.
Yeah, but you see, he attacks the basket with both hands.
Pippen stops, tries to get into the lane, and he turns the ball over again.
See, the reason why we're bringing this out, you know, not to try to undercut, you know, Pippen's credibility here, but, you know, you have 8 turnovers. Your team only has 13. And for the season, you're leading the league with only 14 turnovers.
And he's on his way to a quadruple double. His leg gets Grant up in the air, but he walked with it. How about a quadruple double? Not something you tell the grandkids about, with points, rebounds, assists, and turnovers.
I tell you, I like Lang. He really has some body. And I like the fact that when he catches the basketball, he attacks for the two-handed dunk. He showed you a little left hand that time. He was over-anxious. Sure, he traveled. But when you're coaching a young player like that, he's only in his second year, you know that he's really got some talent.
Rambis is out. Marley is in. And Grant goes to the hole. From Michael Jordan. 6 assists now for Jordan.
Chicago really playing their game right now.
Marley from about 17 doesn't get it. Lang, vicious rebound, goes right back up with it, and they say he walked with it again.
I tell you something, he is big. You know, he's banging people around in there at 6'11", 250. He's moving them out.
He told me last week, he said, this is a big year for me. He goes, I have to produce this year. Now Cartwright spins on Lang, gets him up in the air, and he takes it to the hole easily. This is Chicago's biggest lead of the ball game at 9, and that brings Ed Neely up off the bench for Phoenix. KJ dishing off, throws it away, but Phoenix still has it, says Hugh Hollins.
Right now, Kevin Johnson has got to stay away from the perimeter game. He's got to break down the defense so that Phoenix gets more shot opportunities in the painted area right now.
Shot won't go down. Grant with the rebound. Number 7 for him. He's averaging just about 6 a game. To Cartwright. This has worked the last 2 trips down the court. It works again.
See, Cotton, this is the 3rd guy that he has had on Cartwright this quarter. From West to Lang to Neely. And he's feeling that Neely will push him out. You see right there in the lower back, he played against Cartwright every day last year here in Chicago. But Cartwright is on a roll right now. And if they're going to stop him, they're going to have to double team him.
Well, he makes that. He's shooting 70% from the game. And we talked about since he's been with the Bulls, he's never topped 49%. But he is hot tonight as the Chicago Bulls have opened up a 12-point lead over the Phoenix Suns. Cotton wants to talk about it. We'll be back.
Which 4x4 half-ton pickup gives you better ground clearance, Chevy or Ford? Both try to drive over this protected camera cage. First, the Chevy, plenty of clearance. But the Ford, cameras don't lie. No wonder more truck owners switched to Chevy last year than to any other truck. When it comes to ground clearance, more people are winning with
Heartbeat of America.
Now it's easy to win with the Heartbeat.
Whenever you need a screwdriver, it's never there. And those ratchets have to be someplace. Introducing Ratchamatic. It's the most useful tool you'll ever own. Just release the cartridge, slide it out, and you have a complete toolbox in the palm of your hand. 4 screwdrivers, different size sockets, and even a set of Allen keys. Plus a socket adapter and extension bar. Just select the tool you need, snap it in place, and you're ready to tackle any job. Drive a Phillips screw into steel? Ratchamatic drives it home with ease. It even removes this Allen screw. Ratchamatic goes everywhere you need it, and the sockets won't come loose until you remove them. Ratchamatic is convenient, compact, and only $19.95. Here's how to order.
Call toll-free 1-800-421-2000 or send $19.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling to Ratchamatic, P.O. Box 8449, Atlanta, Georgia. Or call now 1-800-421-2000.
Our score, the Bulls lead at 93-81, is Phoenix shooting only 39% this quarter, Chicago 83%. As we look at tonight's Chevrolet scoreboard. The shooting percentage, though, as we mentioned, very low for Phoenix, high for Chicago.
See, any time that you go into a valley, and especially when you're on the road, you want to work down inside so that you will get fouled and get to the foul line. Or when you shoot and miss, the rebounds do not rebound long so that you can get them and get a high percentage shot. Right now, Phoenix is totally perimeter, and not only are they missing, but we're getting Chicago in the open floor.
And Bill Cartwright has sat down for the Bulls. Stacey King comes back in, and the drought, the 7-0 run, as Ed Neely tries to break it. We've got a foul.
See, that was a perfect example of just exactly what I said. If you take the shot down inside, you have a better chance for the offensive rebound because you have your outside people crashing the board. But when you launch a long jump shot, if they crash the board, the ball rebounds out past the foul line area.
And Neely with 7 points, misses the first free throw. He'll get the second. Michael has played the entire second quarter for the Bulls. It comes up short. Marley gets the offensive rebound.
I'd say Phil Jack's on the side shaking his head, and he has the right to be. You miss 2 foul shots and you get the ball back.
Hornacek spots up for the open jumper, and Jeff Hornacek now with 6 points in this half, 8 for the ball game.
See, Hornacek to me and Marley must pick up the tempo here in order to help out Chambers and KJ in the scoring department if Phoenix is coming back.
Tom Chambers gives an elbow to Stacey King, pushes him away as Hornacek tips the ball away from Michael Jordan with 7 showing on the shot clock.
See, to me, I want to see Michael Jordan down in low. There is no way that Hornacek can play him down inside. You know, and Michael will just score at will or become a good passer feed guy.
B.J. Armstrong has come into the lineup. Pippen over the outstretched hands of Jeff Hornacek as the buzzer goes.
Tell you, Pippen is doing it all. He's filling every column up tonight.
He's definitely doing that. As Kevin Johnson, a little acrobatic move over B.J. Armstrong. KJ with 20. B.J. answers, and the young second-year pro takes it to the hole with authority.
See, I'm happy for him because he struggled in that first half. He was 1 for 6, but he was attacking just like he is right here, and the shots were rolling off the rim. But you like his game. He's taking it strong to the basket, challenging the big people, and usually in situations like that, things will turn for the better as the game wears on.
He has 5, he's averaging 10, and B.J. Armstrong, who some think he's really not a true point guard, more of a shooter's mentality and a mindset, able to light it up. Kevin Johnson long on the jump shot, and Marley with another offensive rebound. Michael Jordan out on Hornacek. KJ on Armstrong, off the glass.
Wow. Listen, his last 2 shots have really been high degree of difficulty.
Exactly that. He is 10 of 16 this quarter as Stacey King goes up for the jam, and the rim gets him, as does Dan Marley.
Phoenix, personal foul, 24, Tom Chambers.
See, nice move by Stacey. It's a strong move, and you like to see him get going here. He's struggling from the field. He's only shooting 44%. He's struggling on the foul line. You know, he's only a 69% foul shooter. Now, this is a guy at playoff time who's going to have to play big for them. He's going to have to get big minutes at the big forward as well as the center position.
The 6th player taken in the 1989 draft drops them both home. There had been some talk that Stacey King was not pleased with the minutes he was getting in Phil Jackson's system. He says, hey, my shoulder was hurting me, but I understand what my role is, and I have to accept it. Kevin Johnson, Michael Jordan comes up with the foul. And he takes it in the mouth, too, and that is 3 on Michael Jordan.
See, I like Kevin's game right now in the last 3 minutes. He's breaking it down. Michael get popped. You'll see now. Now watch as KJ goes by his man here. You'll see Michael come over here, and he gets popped. Right there. Catches it with the elbow, right in the mouth.
22 points for Kevin Johnson, 6 assists. 10 of those points coming in this quarter, make that 11 in this quarter. As the lead is 12 with 156, 100 to 88. We still have a quarter to go. Phoenix averaging about 118 a game. Chicago averaging 111, and right now Chicago leads it by 12. Eddie Johnson set to check in the Phoenix's lineup. Pippen tries to get it to King. Ball loose on the floor.
Oh, great play.
Good job by Neely as Hornacek comes out of the pack to Marley. This is the shot. Here come the Bulls. 4 on 2. Armstrong. Yes.
Michael was totally unselfish on that play. He definitely could have gone one-on-one if he wanted to.
Neely for 3 comes up short. Ed Neely is 0 for 3 from three-point land, but Phoenix sees this game beginning to slip away. Trailing by 14. They trailed by only 2 at the end of the first half. Armstrong on Johnson. King with Chambers on him. He faces up.
Well, this is Chicago at their best. They are playing a perfect quarter.
Kevin Johnson uses the glass effectively, and Johnson now with 25, 13 in a quarter. And we are nearing the 30-second mark. Phoenix finding themselves down by 14. Jordan sizes up the defense inside to Grant. Gets his own offensive rebound, battles his way up for 2 more.
Now Grant is just having a sensational game. Now watch as he shoots, how quick he hits the floor and then gets to the rebound. There he is. Look at that. He moved 2 players that time to get that ball. And any time that a guy works that hard on the offensive glass, you know that you've got to take the physical banging around in order to be an excellent offensive rebounder in this league.
Well, Hobson is checked into the lineup for Chicago. Michael sits down. Grant 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 of those on the offensive end. It's the glasses.
Hey, if he likes those glasses and he thinks they're outstanding, that's all that counts.
That's exactly right. Anything to build confidence. Now Chicago putting a little pressure on. Eddie Johnson for 3, way short, but Marley comes up with the ball. He falls down, doesn't get the shot. Phoenix has it. Marley hurt it.
I really like the quickness of Chicago this quarter. They're just out-quicking Phoenix to all the loose balls. And then anytime that Phoenix looks like they're going to get a second shot opportunity, they're getting there and intimidating them, and they're not being able to complete the play.
Ed Neely tries to get it in to Eddie Johnson. They said Ed Neely stepped on the end line. Will go the other way with him. With 10.1 remaining in the 3rd quarter. A 17-point lead as Chicago has outscored Phoenix by 15 in this quarter. King spins with 3 seconds on the clock, and he drills it home. What a quarter for the Chicago Bulls as Kevin Johnson, a little Harlem Globetrotter hook shot, way off the mark. We have 1 quarter left, and the Chicago Bulls have opened up a 19-point lead over the Phoenix Suns. We still have the 4th to go. Stay with us.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Not long ago, Honda and Toyota were known for the highest mileage. But today, there's Geo, the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America. Get to know Geo at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Getting to know
You want to catch some real bad stuff. I'm talking about some NBA stuff.
Listen, get in here.
Don't mess with the Pistons.
It's your backstage pass to the hottest sport of the 90s. Join hosts Ahmad Rashad and Julie Moran for the Inside Stuff.
Soldier Field, Chicago. Over 300 dead batteries and 1 die-hard battery. Our most powerful ever jump-starts every one. Die-hard. More power when you need it most.
Hi, John.
Hi. You know, Ace is a place for all kinds of holiday stuff. From the tree and all the trimmings
Well, we
to
have
the right
lots of-
stuff to put under it.
Oh, you mean
Hey, let me tell you. When it's time for ho-ho-ho, Ace is the place for me.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, ho-ho-ho. You know.
Pentax News of the Week. Tourist exposes foreign intrigue just by using her IQ. Here are the shocking photos. Here's her astonishing IQ. The Pentax IQ Zoom 900 with a 90mm power zoom lens. Shocking.
Give the hottest gift this season, Domino's Pizza gift certificates. Just call this number. Charge your Domino's Pizza gift certificates, and we'll mail them tomorrow with a customized greeting. Call now and send someone your warmest holiday wishes.
Chicago leads it by 19. This is the quarter scoring breakdown for both teams. Now, for the Phoenix Suns, Tom Chambers, Dan Marley didn't score a point in that 3rd quarter. Michael Jordan only had 4 points in the third quarter, but yet the Bulls opened up the big lead.
Listen, that's impressive. 40 in the first, 40 in the third. When you have great teams, they always come out big in the first and third quarters. Now, we're talking about a Chicago Bull team that only averages 111 a game. They already have 109. They definitely took the challenge of this tempo tonight, and it has been all to their liking.
Well, Cotton Fitzsimmons is going to counter with Miguel Knight coming in for the Phoenix Suns. And Cedric Ceballos will also come in, number 23, the rookie out of Cal State Fullerton. Trying to get something going, a rotation going. Phoenix only shot 38% of that third quarter as Hobson rattles one home.
Second unit for Chicago. The guys who have come off the bench have really played well this half.
Now it is Marley backing up Hobson. Knight from outside on the front of the iron. Hornacek tries to tap it up and in, doesn't get it. It's a pretty good break for Phil Jackson because he has a chance to get that second unit with some minutes, and Stacey King takes it to the hole.
Well, just stop and think. Stacey King, B.J. Armstrong, Hobson have all come in the second half and are making major contributions point-wise.
Now Chicago on another run. This one 9-0. Marley takes it to the hole off the glass, and he gets his own foul shot. So Dan Marley held scoreless in that third quarter now with 14 for the ball game. Big Chicago lead. Stay with us, though. We still have the second half of our doubleheader. Pippen with 2.
That was a beautiful move. Changing hands in the air, took the contact.
Ceballos, who had 32 points against the Denver Nuggets earlier this year, averaging 7 a game, gets his first 2, but it is still the Bulls handily. Now, B.J. Armstrong, as we're getting into a shooting contest. King tips the ball to Hornacek. Horny will take it all the way himself, but we've got a whistle and a foul outside.
See, he knows that he should have shot that ball. It'll be interesting to see if they take it out on the side. Yes, right. Exactly. You know, an experienced pro like Hornacek, as soon as he hit the ground, he smacked his hands together because he knew that he should be on the foul line shooting too.
Now, Hornacek pull-up jumper goes off the iron. Grant with another rebound, having an excellent game. That is his 11th rebound. His second double-double of the year already. Now Marley comes over to help on the double team. King forces up the left hand. Will go down. Ceballos with the rebound. Knight to Marley. To the layup.
Marley. See, Cotton has all his athletes in there right now. The biggest guy is 6'7". So he's playing with basically 3 guards and 2 forwards. The object being double team, trap all over the floor, and let's see if we can get out in the open floor.
Well, Grant draws the follow as Cliff Livingston will come in for the Chicago Bulls. And as we mentioned, coming up immediately following our game, it's Detroit and the Lakers from Inglewood, California, the fabulous forum. Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, as the Lakers starting to get hot now out in the West. And Doug Collins will have that along with Bob Neal. Also coming in now for the lineup for Phoenix, Kenny Battle. Dan Marley will take a seat. Battle, the second-year pro out of Illinois. Now, he had started 4 games for Phoenix just about 2 weeks ago because Cotton says he's looking for something offensive, but he hasn't played a whole lot since then.
Well, he had a sensational exhibition season, played major minutes and major points in the 2 games in Tokyo versus Utah, but he's kind of like cooled off. But most important, when they put Rambis back in that starting lineup, you know, they have a lot of guys who play that position, Ron. Trying to find minutes is tough.
Exactly right. Well, Grant having an excellent game, so is Scottie Pippen. So we've got 2 candidates for our Budweiser player of the game. Miguel Knight, the pull-up fall away won't go down. Jordan tips it. Knight holds the ball out to Hobson. Takes a swipe at it. Shot clock, a lot of time left. About 15.
Nice steal.
B.J. Armstrong picks the pocket. And then it is Grant. Grant a new season high of 25 points. And the Bulls lead at 119-96. We still have over 8 minutes left. Johnson over Jordan. Good pass to Armstrong to the hole.
Cotton's calling timeout. Excellent. The game has definitely gotten away from them right now. And you can readily see why and how Chicago has won their last 3 games by over 29 points. They look sensational.
When creating the new G20 midsize luxury sedan from Infiniti, these were just a few of the amenities we kept in mind. Seating surfaces that are fitted with leather, a cabin that heightens the level of comfort and stretches the limits of space. Of course, with 16 valves and 140 horsepower, that mind also has an alter ego.
Bud Bowl Update has learned that Bud Bowl 3 will feature something brand new this year, the helmet cam. Budweiser's Billy Bud and Bobby Bud will be wearing the helmet cams to give you a beer's eye view of all the action. Plans for future Bud Bowls include goalpost cam, football cam, x-ray cam, overhead cam, and cam. Helmet cam. For Bud Bowl Update, I'm Chris Berman.
Winner of 11 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Actor.
Oh, you can break a man's skull, you can arrest him, you can throw him into a dungeon. But how do you control what's up here? How do you fight an idea?
Charlton Heston in Ben-Hur, Sunday on TNT. From the biggest Who in Whoville to little Cindy Lou, Mr. Grinch, we have our eye on you. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Thursday at 8 on TNT.
Now, this is Chicago at their best on this replay. Here we have Hobson going. Now, here is the beautiful bounce pass. You love the way they're playing. You look here at the point leaders. You see Phoenix is going to probably get their average. It's a maybe. But look at Chicago. They are having a dynamite night.
Battle tries to knock it off the leg of Cliff Livingston. He does just that. How about margin of victory? Portland, of course, 12.2, but there is Chicago at 8.3, and as you mentioned, 29.
Yeah, but if we notice, they're 3 of the teams that everyone keeps talking about that could get the ring this year.
That's right, exactly right. Chicago, by the way, has outscored Phoenix 52-29. The most points Chicago has scored this year is 125, as Miguel Knight takes it to the hole, and 125 is the most points Chicago has scored. They're going to blow that out of the water.
Well, you know, we have almost 8.5 minutes to go in this game. Chicago is shooting 75% in this half. Phoenix only 37. And we can't bring that point up enough of the long rebounds. When you kick that out and you shoot those long jump shots, the ball is out and you're at their mercy in the open floor.
Knight now with 3 as Phoenix puts on a little token pressure. Armstrong just blows right by everybody. Takes it to the hole with the right hand, and he gets the roll. .24 lead. Marley has it slapped away by Michael, who says, no, you're not supposed to call that on me. That's his 4th.
Now, Michael thought he had a clean block that time, but the shooter gets bumped on his way in. You'll see it here, right here. I just watch this as he comes down. Boom, he catches him on the head. And even if he didn't give it there, he still got hit once the ball was up in the air after.
And Dan Marley goes to the line and misses the first.
We have a nice matchup tonight. B.J. Armstrong and Miguel Knight. 2 guys who played against one another in a Catholic high school league in the inner city of Detroit.
That's good. That's good. And Hobson will bring it up. His Bulls lead by 23. 8 minutes remaining to be played in the ball game. Sellout crowd. They've had a sellout every game since back in November of '87 here at Chicago Stadium. That is one of the reasons why Michael Jordan, who before he came to Chicago, the Bulls only averaged 6,000 a ball game. Now you can't get a ticket. Phoenix still has the ball.
Well, tonight is the 146th straight sellout. We're talking 3.5 seasons.
What a home court advantage here in Chicago. A lot of people feel this is probably the biggest home court advantage of any NBA team, as Eddie Johnson uses the right hand effectively.
you have to appreciate tonight from Chicago is their open floor aggressiveness, yes, but the way they're passing the basketball, the unselfishness of making the extra pass, getting and then going to the guys who are on a roll. Get them the basketball.
We've got a whistle and a foul, and that'll be on Eddie Johnson.
Phoenix personal foul 8, Eddie Johnson.
That is his first personal.
The team's second.
And King is fouled by Eddie Johnson again. Quick 2 for Eddie Johnson.
Well, you see, with this small unit out on the floor, it's very difficult for them to match up.
Well, John McLeod loses his first as head coach of the Knicks. We see the overtime. Portland on top of Miami, or Portland beat Miami by 3. And the ball belongs to Phoenix with 7:16 remaining to be played in the ball game. And one more final to pass on. Cleveland comes back to beat Denver by 4. And Chicago gets the ball back. As Cedric Ceballos takes a dive on the hardwood.
All right, Cleveland, you know, talk about bad luck. You know, you have not only Mark Price, but then you have John Williams, and they just can't seem to get all of their guys healthy. And it's a team that just 2 years ago won 57 games.
Inside to King. Pretty good pass from Hobson. And Stacey King gets his 8-point, 10-point here in the second half. He is 5 of 6 now from the floor.
See, once again, that nice extra pass.
Battle, the one-handed shot put shot. Won't go down, and we've got a loose ball foul. 7 Chicago Bulls in double figures. Michael Jordan picks up his 5th personal foul. Michael Jordan has not fouled out of a ball game yet this year. In fact, he only has 43 personal fouls coming into tonight's game. That's less than 3 a ball game as Marley tosses it up, doesn't get it, but Eddie Johnson is there for the foul. Johnson with 11, but the Bulls lead by 23. 6.5 left in the ball game. Jordan working on Marley, takes a swipe at it. Hobson inside to Livingston. B.J. Armstrong, his second steal, pass, and Jordan tries to get it up, never got the handle of it. Hugh Holland said it was a good block. 3-on-1 for Phoenix. Oh, Cliff Livingston with a block. What a play by Livingston. Armstrong to the hole.
Now that was pretty. A great play by Cliff Livingston in a 3-on-1 situation. He blocks the shot at his end. 3-on-1. Look at this. Great play. Then they get it out, and they score on the fast break at the opposite end of the floor. Strong move by B.J. Armstrong.
6 minutes left. Bulls by 25.
Meet Pro Football's power brokers. Guys who work hard to get ahead. Who grab every opportunity that comes their way. Who always greet others with a firm grip. Introducing Search and Destroy, a bone-rattling new video cassette from NFL Films Video. It puts you in the trenches with the most feared men in football. Search and Destroy is your introduction to the official NFL video collection from Time Life Video. Take a close look at the long ball in Bombs Away. See football's funny side in Super Duper Football Follies. And relive the NFL's greatest moments of the last 25 years. Call now for Search and Destroy for just $14.99. Other videos follow. There's no commitment. Here's how to order.
To order the NFL's Search and Destroy, use your credit card and call 1-800-421-2000 or send just $14.99 plus $4 shipping and handling to NFL's Greatest Hits, P.O. Box 105264, Atlanta, Georgia.
When Michael Jordan plays, the stars come out. How about Tony La Russa, manager of the Oakland A's, in the stands tonight, courtesy of our director, Lonnie Dale, who's been bragging that he gave him tickets to the game. I don't mind. I don't think he knows the man. Of course, the baseball winter meetings being held in Chicago. A lot of player movement going on today. And there's the star of Chicago, though, Michael Jordan.
I like his new style of play. I think they are a much better basketball team when he comes out and is tremendously aggressive at the beginning of the game. He puts a lot of pressure on you that you must play big, and they seem to be scoring many more points in that first quarter than they have ever had during his entire time here.
You hit it on the head at the beginning of the game. He says, when I'm in there and I'm not going to just feel out defenses anymore, I'm going to go after. He has 27 points in the game, but look at the lead that Chicago has and realize Michael Jordan only has 6 points here in the second half when Chicago really has opened it up. Andrew Lang will come in for Phoenix as Eddie Johnson has it slapped away by Craig Hodges, who was checked into Chicago's lineup. Hodges, the 9th-year pro out of Long Beach State. So the only players we haven't seen so far, only player we haven't seen so far is Will Perdue for Chicago. And speak of the devil, Andrew Lang is checked in, 4 stitches in all, and Thrill Will Perdue will be coming in. Johnson hits the free throw.
You know, Eddie Johnson really had a tough ending to his year last year with that shoulder separation. You know, missed about 18 games or so and then came back and, you know, played extremely well in the playoffs except for the last series. And it's nice to see him totally healthy right now because he's a premier shooter, one of the best 6 men that we've had in the league in the last, you know, 8 to 10 years.
Of course, he won the 6th Man of the Year award, and last year came back, didn't play with a lot of confidence because of the injuries. Was afraid every time he missed a shot, he'd be pulled out of the game, but now he feels very confident. Williams, the rookie out of North Carolina, rattles it home.
Well, you know, he's a real find because he was not drafted. He came into camp, worked his way into the situation, and he seems to be getting a lot of minutes and doing a good job with the minutes.
He's averaging 3 points a contest at a season high of 10. It's Miguel Knight with his 2nd field goal. He has 5 for the ball game. Johnson on Knight. Williams. Oh, left-handed shot goes down and draws the foul. That is a great deal of poise for a free agent rookie.
Now, he's really doing a nice job. What I like about it is that he's become aggressive offensively. They like his size. They like his potential. Most of all, they like how they got him.
Exactly.
You know, as a free agent.
Well, the word on him was that as we look at one more final tonight, New Jersey over Seattle, as the New Jersey Nets under Bill Fitch pretty hot. They said he really didn't have anything to hang his hat on when he came into the league. He's showing that's not the case. Shot is blocked away by Williams. He's doing a little bit of everything. Armstrong. That'll be a flagrant foul.
Yeah.
Miguel Knight just wrapped up B.J. Armstrong. And Cotton Fitzsimmons, not much he can do.
Now you see, now here we go, now a beautiful pass. Now here comes the block right there. Excellent pass, good rebound, and an excellent pass by Will Perdue getting that ball out.
Armstrong with 13 points this evening. He will go to the line with the Bulls leading 134-108, 4:46 left to be played. Bulls looking for their 6th straight win.
B.J. Armstrong, to me, has really had an outstanding night. You know, there's a man right there, you know, who feels the frustrations of a tough loss against a good, like we said, the 8 team that won over 55 games that he has had to play against in his early part of the season. And it's the first game of 4 this week in 5 nights on the road.
Well, if you don't think Chicago's been dominating in this win streak, how about the last 3 games? This Purdue has the rebound drop right in his hands. They won by 24, 29, and 25. And right now, they lead by 28. No-look pass inside. Pretty good pass by Knight. Phoenix cannot capitalize on it. Livingston with the loose ball. Outlet to Armstrong. As Hodges spots up with the J and drills it.
You know, I have never seen so many long passes in a long time in this league of rebounding the ball and making the outlet over half court without the defense intercepting the ball. I mean, this is a nightmare if you're the coach of Phoenix. You know, he really has to be down about that.
Lang works on Purdue with a left-handed hook, won't go down.
Chicago personal foul with Livingston.
And that foul is on Cliff Livingston. That is his 2nd personal foul. We talked at the beginning of the show how most of Chicago's games have been on the road this year. December will be a very kind month to them. 2 out of their 11 games are on the road. The rest are at home. So when you come in and have a 5-game, now looks like a 6-game win streak, and you know that most of the rest of your games are going to be right here in the stadium, you're sitting very pretty.
Well, we said at the top they were 7-4 in road games. Now that is an outstanding record. Why? Because only 2 teams in the East last year had winning records on the road. Detroit and Boston. Only 2. Now if they can maintain a good set, you know that they're going to have an outstanding home record. And plus the team is accepting their roles here now in this 10-man rotation.
Well, that is what Craig Hodges is known for. He's 9 of 21 on the year coming into the game from three-point land, and he drills one. And 11 of 12 Bulls have now scored. Will Perdue is yet to find the rim. Williams goes way up for the rebound, and they traveled with it. That was a pretty good board goal by the rookie. So now the only suspense we have here is whether or not Will Perdue will score.
Well, you know, coming into this game, everyone said, hey, well, listen, Chicago beat Indiana, Washington, and Cleveland. 3 teams that are, you know, undermanned right now and not playing really well. So that's the reason why they won by over 29 points a game. But we're seeing it. They're doing it to a major league team in here tonight.
In fact, that was the comment by Phil Jackson. He says, listen, that's what people are saying, but we need to prove to ourselves that we can beat the big boys, and they're doing that handily tonight as Knight hangs in the air long enough for his 7th point. Long pass to Williams off his shoulder, but they say Battle touched it last. And don't forget, coming up immediately following, it'll be the Lakers and the Pistons. They are ready in Los Angeles. What a showdown that'll be tonight. Doug Collins and Bob Neal standing by for that. Chicago 65% from the field this game as they continue their hot streak from the floor. Williams bats it away. Livingston with the ball. Hodges drills it, and it's a 2, not a 3.
I'm really happy for Craig. Here's a guy whose time has dwindled. Now we're talking a major reserve here for many years with Chicago. His playing time is down to only 11 minutes a game. And when he does come in, they want him to shoot those threes and knock him down. So at playoff time, he's still sharp.
An interesting comment about Hodges that Doug Collins told us that when he got Hodges in here, when Hodges became part of the Bulls, he felt the rest of his scoring and the rest of the shooters seemed to elevate. They sort of fed off Craig Hodges. Perdue looking for his 2. He got it. Everybody has scored for Chicago. Inside, Sabalos can't get the jam, and that is the kind of night it has been.
2 minutes to play in the game.
For the 3rd time in 4 games, Chicago will shoot over 60% as the foul is on Knight.
Phoenix personal foul 32 Miguel.
Chicago Bulls are shooting over 50% right now. 50.5 for the season. Last year in this league, only 1 team shot over 50%. There's a very, very happy coach, and to the left of him, Johnny Bach, the old stalwart for many years, college coach in Fordham and at Penn State, and then was in the pros as the head coach of Golden State. Many, many years of experience on that bench. When you have Tex Winter on one side with 40 years and Johnny Bach with 40 years of coaching helping you out.
But I want to know, has Phil Jackson gotten Bach and Winters to listen to the Grateful Dead? That's what I want to know. Phil was not known as your straight-laced Ivy Leaguer winning play. Has he changed those 2? And Chicago now just needs 2 points for their 3rd 40-point quarter. From the outside, it is Eddie Johnson trying to add at least to his average. So Chicago will win their 6th straight, go to 11-6 on the year, much better than last year's, or just about the same as last year. They were 10-6 at the same time. Sabalos with the J. Phoenix will drop to 8-6 on the season as they begin this long road trip, as you be talking about. From the outside, boy, I'll tell you what, Hodges sits on the bench. He comes in and he's able to light it up. He has 9, 4 of 4, and it's the 3rd 40-point quarter for Chicago.
B.J. Armstrong has really pushed the ball well this evening. He has really gotten it up in there and created a lot of nice opportunities.
To Perdue, double pumps, his style. Williams has 7. The other end, Battle dishes off to Sabalos, who gets the basket and the foul. And the clock continues to run at the stadium. Not fast enough for Phoenix, though.
Now, this young man standing on the foul line plays 9 minutes a game. He's averaging 7.8 points.
Figure that up over 48 minutes.
Then. Talking to Paul Westphal, he says, this guy is not a shooter, but he is a scorer. Don't ask me how he does it. He gets the job done. He's everywhere.
Hook Livingston with a nice finger roll. He says he feels like he got a rebirth by coming here to Chicago. As this half now, Chicago shooting 84%. Well, they scored 84 here in the second half. That's a big second half. 153-123, a 30-point margin, 45 seconds remaining to be played. Eddie Johnson. It was close from the beginning. Chicago led by 2 at the end of 1, 2 at halftime, but then they blew it open in the third quarter. Had 27 ties in the game, 9 lead changes. So if you turn it out now and think it was a blowout from the tip, that's not the case. Purdue backs out for a 3. Tipped up by Williams. He's probably going to tell the coaches that was an alley-oop. Miguel Knight from just inside of 3 as we are inside of 20 seconds. Armstrong. Asphalt basketball, playground style. Johnson. He goes hard to the floor. Now it is the rookie from North Carolina. He says, I want a 3. He doesn't get it. Eddie Johnson. And Ceballos will close out the scoring of this one as the Phoenix Suns find themselves at the hands of a very hot Chicago team. The final 155 to 127 as Chicago scores 86 second half points. UV Brown and I will be back to wrap things up from Chicago Stadium.